Hello everyone. In the previous video, we expanded our AI agent and had it translate our results to a different language. In this video, what I want to do is add some more components to it. For example, I want the response to be said out loud using a voice model or a voice API. For that, I'll be using ElevenLabs, that is a service that provides these voice tools for us. I'm going to use its API, integrate it with our own AI agent, and have its AI response out loud, at least in English. All right. So let's go for it. The steps that I've taken are simply followed using the ElevenLabs API documentation. So I go to this developer quick start page over here. I have to create an API key. So once I sign up, I can simply get the API key and put it in my environment variable in this particular variable over here. Now I've already purchased the API, so you don't have to for this tutorial. It's just something that I wanted to do and show you guys. So I've purchased it. I have the API key with me and I've put it in this variable in my environment file. I'll show you my example file to give you reference. This is the variable. This is this placeholder API key that I have, which is present in my .env file. These are the variables that have been present in the since the last few videos. All right. So I have my API key over here. Then I followed the next steps, which were installing the libraries, the ElevenLabs library. I did not install the .env library because we already have something similar over here, load.env, which is basically used to read the environment variables, which will be used to read this API key. All right, so I'll just close this. So we simply make these imports over here. And again, this is not something I'm doing. I'm just following the instructions on this particular page. So I've imported these libraries. I have then copied the client code and the code needed to play my audio. What I've done is I've written a new function, get voice response, which will take in my text as the input. It will initialize the client using my API key. It will basically convert that to an audio, which will be played using this play function. All right. So I've done nothing here except maybe make this text dynamic based on the input. The rest is a simple copy paste from here. All right. So that's what will happen. So let's try to run this with our agent development kit. So I'll ask it, what is the weather in Tokyo, as we have been over the last few videos. This part is fine. It's reliable. The result is pretty accurate. So I'm not worried about this one. I'll get the result. But when I ask it to say it out loud, it will have some issues, and I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you how to solve those issues as well. So it says ffplay from ffmpeg not found. ffmpeg is a library used for media purposes in your applications. So this is an expected error, and this is something that has been told to us, that has been communicated to us in the exact documentation over here. It says that to play the audio through your speakers, you may be prompted to install MPV and or ffmpeg. So we'll go with installing ffmpeg for us. How do I install it? Well, I have basically listed down the steps for us over here. So we have to first download the ffmpeg library, and I've laid down the link over here, and it has even given us that in our error, ffmpeg.org. This is where we'll go, and I'll just close this. So I go over, I'm using Windows right now, and Windows has two builds for us. I'll go over to the first one. There is some information written over here for you. I'll just read it out quite quickly. It's just basically giving us a bunch of commands that we can use, different package managers. I'm going to use the winget manager for Windows. This is the command that I used in my command line. Let me just open up a new command line interface. And I'll just run this as administrator. So I simply need to install this library like this. I'm not going to do it because it's already installed for me. So you can do this, install the library. It will give you the relevant messages once it is done. To make sure that it is installed, you simply write ffmpeg version. So you see that the library is actually installed on my device. So my question is, if it is installed on my device, why is my ADK not able to use it to generate the voice response? That is a very important question to ask, and something a lot of you may have missed right now. So I felt the need to mention it. So what is happening over here is that it's installed on my device, but it is not installed on my Python environment. My Python environment, which is a virtual environment, it is not able to access that. How do we know? Because if I try to run the same command over here, ffmpeg version, it will say that it's not recognized over here. All right. So how do we actually get this to work? For that, I've also written the steps out. So we check the installation, it's on a device, but not over here. So what we need to do is we need to add the .exe files, basically the executable files that ffmpeg has given to us on its installation. We have to add it to our Python script so that whenever we try to run ffmpeg, it is able to find it as part of its own environment. So how do we find these scripts that have been given to us in our ffmpeg module? So we simply run a where command to figure that out. In Windows, at least, you can use where. We don't use clear, sorry, that's a force of habit from Mac OS. So we have our folder over here, and I already have this folder open for me. You can just put it in your file explorer and you'll reach over here. You'll see these three files. Alright, ffmpeg, ffplay, which is found to be missing in our error message. And I'll just show that to you. ffplay from ffmpeg not found. Alright, so we see that now. I'm going to copy all these and I'm going to bring them over to my scripts file. Now this is where I've installed my Python. In my setups folder, I have this Python 3. In that I have my scripts. For you, it may be a different folder depending on where you've installed Python. Alright, so I'm going to paste these three over here. And you can see these three files are now present. I'll simply go over back to my VS Code and I'll run this command once again. Now it is able to get my output, which is the proper versions of my ffmpeg library. Question is, will this now make my AI agent work as intended? For that, there's only one way to find out. I open my web server again, go back over here. Let's just wait for this to open. All right, time to go back, refresh. What is the weather in New Delhi? Let's change the location. And I'll just write the next prompt to save on time. So the weather response is as intended, but when I ask it to say it out loud now, let's see. I hope you can hear the response on my speaker.
The weather in New Delhi is mist with a temperature of 37.1 degrees Celsius, 98.8 degrees Fahrenheit.
And once that's done, it says that, well, we're done with this function, and it gives me the final output. That is how we integrate ElevenLabs API or any other voice API that you have with your AI agent. You simply install the libraries, import them over here, write the logic for it, make it a part of your tool list. And if there are any further dependencies like ffmpeg, you install them properly. And that is all you need to do to run this as you want to. Alright, so stay tuned for more such cool projects. I'll be making a lot more tutorials. And if you want that, like and subscribe, and you can drop a comment down below if there's a particular project that you want me to cover. So stay tuned and follow for more.